What's up, guys? Welcome back to Let's Play Painkiller Hell Wars. So, look where we are. We're at the Asylum level. Wow. That is some really creepy atmosphere. It may be a little bit cliche, but holy crap. Oh, we're not getting in through the front door. Notice we have a bit of a flashlight in front of us in this level, which is going to be important because it is very dark in this level. This is probably the creepiest level in the game, and it's actually genuinely scary in other parts. This is not really what I would consider a horror game. It's more of an action game, especially because I don't really find games to be that scary, even the ones that are intentionally scary. But this one, I do admit, is pretty creepy, just because of how messed up it is. And we'll see more of that when we actually get to fight the enemies in here. This is going to be a much slower paced level too. Like, we're not going to be jumping around all over the place for the majority of the level. It's going to be a lot of slow encounters. We're going to be taking our time with them. We're going to follow this mysterious ghost here. Oh, that's lovely. Freaking zombies, man! The music is also pretty awesome here. The zombies are actually pretty tough despite how many of them there are. And they have this really long range to their lunge attack. But I don't have hardly any ammo right now because I just started the level. Whenever you go into a new level, your ammo does not carry over from the previous level. So I'm trying to use the painkiller here to save ammo. These are actually some surprisingly dangerous enemies, and they just look just ridiculous. And they're not that tough when we use our actual weapons, though, but the painkiller for now, just because of its unlimited ammo, is what I'm going to try to use the most here. Because there's going to be some tougher enemies later on in the level, and I definitely want to have my ammo for them. This is also a level where I'm going to pay close attention to how many souls I'm getting, and try to go into demon mode as much as I can. Yeah, this is one thing I definitely praise this version of Painkiller for, is that you know, the levels are, there's a lot of variety to the locations you go to. Sure, a lot of them are very dark and creepy and just morbid and messed up and satanic, but in this case, but you know, there's a variety at least. So we got some more shotgun ammo there, so we can use that a little bit. And the level design does not necessarily have to make sense. The last level being a good example of that. And again, with the level design, it's, as you know, all the random teleporters that take us to completely different locations. That means that the level does not have to be, any two areas in the level don't necessarily have to be connected, because you just teleport around everywhere. And again, the existence of those teleporters is not really explained as far as the plot goes or the settings, so it doesn't really make that much sense. But whatever. Okay, there's a new enemy type here. These guys are zombies in straitjackets, and they have like whip arms, and they're just really, really freaking scary, and they make some awful, awful sound effects. And they have a lot more mobility. They actually don't have as much health though, but they're pretty easy to kill. But they're also they're a lot more dangerous in my opinion. And this was what's really stupid right here. You go up to the top of this tower, and you get all this ammo, and you go collect this checkpoint, and there's nothing, you don't progress, you have to backtrack. There's nothing else in the level here. You just get the checkpoint up here, and then you go back down. So I'm not sure that this game's levels were designed intelligently, so much as they were designed artistically, but I'm just willing to forgive it because the gameplay is so awesome. And there's not been anything poorly designed in a level so far that's made the level difficult to complete, like that's hindered your progress in the level because of its design alone. But here on this floor we have, of the Asylum, we have all the beds that the zombie horrible test creature things have. This reminds me of a creepypasta that I read right around Halloween. This is going to be like my Halloween game, or Hell and Damnation is going to be my Halloween game, but there was no tangible copies of it, so I didn't get a chance to buy it around them. Alright, now we got our demon mode. I'm trying to shoot that ghost there because it recognizes him as a target, but it doesn't allow me to kill him. If I kill a ghost, will it come back as a ghost of a ghost? Can a ghost have an aneurysm? Anyway, there was a creepypasta that I read about, like during World War II, the Russians had captured these war criminals or whatever, and instead of putting them, they were death row inmates who committed these war atrocities, and so they, instead of sentencing them to death, they were doing experiments on them to see if they could keep them awake for 30 days straight using this gas in certain levels in the air to where they would not be able to sleep, but it would not kill them because it wasn't a fatal dosage. And it's just a really messed up creepypasta, and there's like, it's lame, it's obviously fake too, there's no real, I mean, all those things are obviously fake, there's no, you don't ever look at them and be like, was that real? You know, you always are just like, whatever, after you read it. But if they can put some frightening imagery with it, you know, it's effective for the most part, just to, you know, it's for what it's worth. So that was an amusing 10 minutes or whatever it took me to read that. And this level reminds me a lot of that because of the way the enemies are designed. The creepy guys in straight jackets remind me of those test subjects. What does this guy think he's doing? Get away from the door. But at least this part of the level, as far as like I was saying the design goes, at least it's open to where, you know, you can kind of go in any room in any order and just kill the enemies that are in there, because as we all know, the focus of these levels is basically just to kill all the enemies and move on and collect all our souls. So there's really not much to it. It's just the gameplay is so good that you don't care really what you're doing. It's just so fun to do it. These guys right here, some of these guys in the straight jackets are electrified, and they kind of explode a little bit when you kill them. It's not a good idea to get near them because they can do a lot of damage. We're doing really good in this level so far in health, though. And we fought guys with guns already, and we're afraid of guys in straitjackets. Well, that's something that happened. Yeah, I really like this level, but I'm still excited to show off some of the later levels, though. But this is a nice change of pace that we get to slow down and absorb some creepy atmosphere and all that. I mean, there are very few games that show off the fact that you can have a horror game with good controls and it can still be scary. And like I said, I don't consider this to be a horror game, but there are games like that. Like, The Suffering was a good third-person shooter that actually had, you know, controls that actually worked, and yet it was terrifying. A lot of people say the Fear series is like that too, but I've actually not gotten a chance to play much of Fear because I have all three of the Fear games, but they're on the PS3, and my PS3 obviously is not working right now, so I'm going to try to figure out if I can play that. Most people say that the third one loses a lot of its scare because of the co-op, and I can see that. So I'm just looking forward to playing the first one and seeing what I think. I've had a lot of my buddies that used to play Quake 4 with said that the original Fear had some of the best, like, most challenging enemy AI in any FPS game that he had played, and that's a pretty promising compliment, I do admit. Anyway, we're almost to the end of the level. This level's not too long. It's if you know how to clear out all the enemies quickly enough. Most of the time you're just spent wandering all these halls trying to find all the enemies. So that's it for the Asylum. We do not want to come back ever. Ever.